The African American community, a lot of our stuff isn't written down. It's very oral. Like we have an oral tradition in that community. And a lot of information historically is like told to you. So to me, this project has been my ancestors and the ancestors of those in Anderson County have come together because this project is funded by Duke Energy. It's the Anderson area Remembrance and Reconciliation Initiative. They are the ones sponsoring, and it's a mixture of races. And to me, that shows that the world is becoming more enlightened, and it's not as dark of a place as we might assume. I think a lot of times our assumptions get caught up in it. But this project has been rewarding by all these different people from different age groups, and ideas and cultures are coming together to work for one thing. And I didn't realize this until right before my father died, that my father's grandfather was a slave. He was born in 1852, and he was in Anderson County. And those 5 victims in Anderson County, he was around during all of those events. And some of them happened in places that he lived. And I thought about my great-grandfather, hearing about this in the news, so I kind of put myself in their shoes and how terrifying, but they couldn't live in fear. Because fear and guilt will hold you back, and we must live in a world of trust and love. So to take that negative event and live in this world through trust and love is the mission. That's my mission. That's my mission, is to experience this world through trust and love and not fear and guilt. So this piece was done out of trust and love and not fear and guilt. And Tim McElveen, who I met a few years ago, and I noticed his talent. And I think his talent has been noticed in various circles in our community. And I just kind of wanted to bring more light on Tim's talent and also learn from Tim. And I think Tim can also learn from me. So it's been an exchange of experiences and knowledge with each other. And we've developed this creative kinship, which I feel really enlightened by, because he has brought so much to this particular sculpture that I'm really co-creating it with him. And I'm just awed at his gifts and his talents, and I'm so glad that I'm a vessel to help him get more exposure as an artist, and hopefully this bring more light on his career.
I was approached by Herman, and he's seen some of my work and heard that I was doing some stuff out here and wanted me to be part of the project. And I was thrilled that he asked me to be part of it, and we've had fun doing this. You know, even though it's a dark subject, me and him have bonded almost like brothers, and that's the way I see him, as a brother. And we work well together, and I look forward to, many more projects with him. I've always thought of lynchings as hangings, because being in the South, that's just what I've always heard. They lynched a guy, they piled a bunch of different wood on him and burned him. And to me, when I saw the photos, it just was a different level of evil in my mind. So we wanted to try to play off of that by the way that we designed it. And most of the wood that is on the bottom is wood that I found out in the woods here at Moore Farms, and some of it was already burnt. So we've tried to recycle some of that wood. The trees had fallen and stuff, so I've tried to recycle all that into this project.
In coming up with this design, I knew this would have to be a metal piece, because I didn't want to venture off and do some extravagant, ornate type of thing to represent these victims. And it's a coffin-shaped thing. And I almost had to, when I do my artwork, I like to put myself in the mind of a child, because children are pure. They don't come with any judgment, and they don't come with any opinion. And so when I put myself in the mind of a child looking at a structure, like say, if I saw these big metal coffin-shaped materials, this rusted thing, and it had names of people on there who were lynched, and the county that they were lynched in, and the year and the date that they were lynched, I would want to see what's inside of it, because curiosity is one of our human traits. So in order to open up that curiosity, we took the cover off of that coffin. We used Corten steel. It's an 8-foot high sculpture, and it's pretty much the dimensions of a grown man. 2 of these victims were little boys, but we're taking half-gallon jars, and with these half-gallon jars, we put the dirt inside of that, the dirt from every lynching site, but we're also using mason jars from the era. So we put out a search throughout South Carolina to find mason jars from the late 1800s to the early 1900s to give it that kind of feel. There's a toolkit. There was like a toolkit to lynchings. Most lynchings were an event. Thousands of people attended. As a matter of fact, for each one of those victims, there were over 500 people at each site. Alcohol, fence post, fuel, and lanterns. That was like a lynching toolkit. And because they would set victims on fire, and they would build fires so you could kind of see. So our structure rests on a pedestal made of wood. And there was a lynching out in Texas of, I think his name was Ned Smith. He was a teenager, and they burned him alive. And so we built that mound out of that wood in the mound they used to burn Ned Smith. So, and then we set that on fire using a Japanese technique to preserve wood, the Sugi Sun technique, in which you burn the wood with a torch, and then you rub the wood down with linseed oil to preserve it over time. So we use various techniques, and Tim used his skills with wood and metal and things, and he blessed that sculpture with his gift, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, it's been wonderful that me and him are working together on this project. Him being African American and me being white, it's great for us to come together and work on a project such as this, because I think it's gonna cause people to talk about the issue, and I think that's important. To work through issues, you need to talk about issues. The issues are not going to go away. We've been doing hate since we began. This country's been doing hate since we began. And I've talked with Herman about this, and we've had long conversations. It's time that we try love. It's not going to hurt anything. Let's try love and see what that does. If you have 2 dogs, one of them's hate, one of them's love, if you feed the hate dog more, the love dog will not be able to stand against the hate dog. So we need to start feeding love instead of hate, because that's the only thing that's going to fix what's wrong here is love. And we need to spread that love, and hopefully, I'm hoping that this piece will kind of get that message across to people that see it, and that we need to come together and love each other. Even though we have differences, we still need to love each other.
This soil belongs to the ancestors. Guide me, O thy great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land. I am weak, but thou art mighty. Oh,